Welcome on out to Lee Jordan Field here in Chugiak, Alaska. I'm Lance Morris here, and I'm about to play the Coach Growth interview as we get set for the national anthem here. So take a listen to that while I step aside for the anthem.
All right, here with head coach of your Chugiak River Chinooks, John Growth. Coach, you lose to the Miners in the ninth inning, 4-3. What stood out to you in that one?
Well, I told our guys after the game, I really felt like, we're pitching it pretty well right now. And we talked a little bit yesterday on the pregame that the pitchers are always a little bit ahead of the hitters up here. And that was kind of – if you look at the scores around the league, 2-1, 3-1, 4-2, 4-3, they're all kind of low-scoring affairs right now. Now, generally the trend will be as we get a couple weeks in, those scores will inch up, 5, 6, 8 runs a game for each team. So right now – we're pitching it pretty well. Our pitchers, I thought, did a great job of keeping us in the game, and we're just not. I think we scored 3 runs on 5 hits or something. We were very efficient. That's the good news. We just didn't get a whole lot of base running opportunities. The opportunities we actually got guys in yesterday. That's been a little bit of a bugaboo for us early in the season. So it was a well played game. They just got one more big hit than we did, and that was really the difference. And it was in the 9th inning in a tie game.
And you get another pretty good start out of Brady batting on the hill. What do you think of his performance?
I mean, as these guys get, physically adjusted to Alaska, the sleeping patterns and the different things that we encounter up here, they're getting a little bit more comfortable, and Brady did really well, I thought, yesterday. He, again, all 3 of the pitchers at 3 yesterday gave us a chance to win that game, and Brady gave us another strong start. And unfortunately, our hitters are not like they're just like everyone else in the league right now. Nobody's just tearing it up and scoring 10 runs a game. The offense is kind of limited, so that really it kind of makes it so important that when you do get guys on, you need to try to get them in. So really pleased with what Brady did yesterday, and I thought it was probably a step forward for him, and we'll continue to look for steps forward as he gets into the summer.
So I know Robert got the loss yesterday, but aside from technically going down and losing column, I thought he had a pretty good performance. What did you think of him there?
Absolutely. You know what? Our dugout felt like we had that guy struck out on the steal. It was like a 2-2 pitch, and I don't know if you remember the play, but we really felt like it was a good pitch. And of course, our catcher is coming out of shoot to throw, and so didn't give the umpire a great look at it. Easily could have been strike 3. The inning would have been over. Next pitch, 6-hole, base hit, 4-3. So, I mean, that game could have gone either way. Robert could have been a vulture winner. Unfortunately, he's a vulture loser at that point. He did really well. And, you got to tip your cap to their third baseman. I told him in the next half inning, I said, hey, you got a big hit there. He says, yeah, it's about time. So everyone in the league is kind of trying to get their sea legs under him as a hitter. I thought Robert did well, and he's done well every time he's been out there, and no problem giving him the ball again tonight or whenever it's the next time he's out.
So the pitchers threw pretty well. Hitters, for the most part, aside from a couple key hits, didn't have their best game of the season. What should we be looking for tonight from them?
Well, I mean, we're going to say one of the things is we don't have a whole lot of situations like tonight where we're playing the exact same team at the same location. So we will get used to, as we get into the season, I think we play every team 10 or 11 times. So this is game number 3 against the Miners, and 3 in 4 days against this team. So the familiarity factor plays in a little bit. We're going to juggle the lineup a little bit. We'll give Ethan a night off. Colin will get in there and play some first base for us. It was good to see Tim Millard out there getting his feet wet here in the league after getting off a plane a couple hours earlier. So, tonight's a new night, 0-0. Obviously, we're going to look for Nate to give us a good start, and hopefully we can score some runs for him.
All righty. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
And welcome on out here to Lee Jordan Field. The 1-0 pitch is going to be popped out towards Will Best. He'll be able to reel it in for out number 1.
Number 18, the left fielder, Garrison Short.
One down here. Just starting off this contest against the Chinooks and the Matsu Miners. Garrison Schwartz up to the plate. He'll be first pitch swinging and missing. Comes the 0-1 to Schwartz. That one's lined out towards the right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Schwartz will take a big round, but he'll stay over at first. Schwartz is on with 1 down here in the top of the first.
Number 6, the shortstop, Josh Bissonnette.
Runner at first for the Miners in Garish and Schwartz. Josh Bissonnette now up to the plate. First one to him. That'll miss a low, ball 1. Bissonnette, a freshman from Anaheim Hills, California. 1-0. And they're called strike 1. 1-1 on the count to Bissonnette. On the hill today for your Chinooks, Nathan Bonsell. He's going to be going to the Masters College starting in the fall. They'll check on Schwartz over at first. He'll be back in plenty of time. That one will miss low, ball 2. Comes the 2-1. And they're called strike 2 to Bissonnette. Evens up at 2-2. The 2-2. Down in the turf. Nice stop by Liniger. Makes it a full count, 3-2. Here comes the payoff. Chop down the third base line. That'll drift foul. So it'll remain a full count to Josh Bissonnette. He plays at Baylor University. A 3-2. That one's skied out towards left field. That one's going to have to be played off of the wall. And they will hold Schwartz up at third. Bissonnette lands on second with the stand-up double. So now it'll be runners at second and third with just 1 down here on the top of the first for the Matsu Miners. Jake Scudder will come to the plate with 1 down here on the top of the first. Still 0-0 between the Miners and the Chinooks. First one to Scudder. And they're called strike 1. Scudder on the season hitting .286 with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. The 0-1 also in there for a called strike 2. Scudder will quickly find himself down in the count 0-2. Comes the 0-2. Just a waste pitch to the outside. Scudder going into his junior season at Kansas State. Here comes the 1-2. That one's hit nicely as well out towards center field. And Populous will get under it for the out. They're going to concede the run and straight towards third. Not going to be able to get him out either. So sac fly from Scudder will bring in the first run of the game. Miners take the 1-0 lead.
Number 16, the right fielder, Cam Montgomery.
First one to Cam Montgomery missing outside ball one. Swing and a miss there for Montgomery, evens it back up at 1-1. Miners with the 1-0 lead. Here comes the 1-1. That one's lined right over the head of Tim Millard over at third. That'll be a base hit to bring in Bissonette. That'll be an easy stand-up double for Cam Montgomery. Miners take the 2-0 lead here in the first.
Number 25, the catcher, Josh Roulette.
Josh Roulette now makes his way up to the plate. He's in that left-handed batter's box. First one, him in there, called strike one. Roulette hitting just 100 on this summer so far. Here comes the 0-1. That one's again hit nicely out towards right field. That one's out of here. A home run from Josh Roulette. That'll be a 2-run shot. That puts the Miners up 4-0 here in just the top of the first inning. Now pitching coach Chris Beck gonna go have a word with Nate Bonsell. Obviously not how you want to start off your appearance. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Not going the Chinooks way here in just the top of the first. We saw Garrison Swartz get on with a base hit single. Bissonette had a double to put runners at second and third. Jake Scudder hit a sac fly. That brought home Schwartz. Montgomery had himself a double that brought in a run. And then Roulette had a 2-run shot to make it 4-0 here for the Miners. Now we are going to see some action in the Chinook bullpen already. AJ Lee's going to hit it out towards foul territory first base. Colin Borst ran out of room. That one bounced into the bleachers and came back into play. And I think that's Cody White out there getting loose in the Chinook bullpen. Comes the 0-1. And that one will miss low. 1-1 count to AJ Lee, the Miners' third baseman. He's going to pop that one straight up in the air. But Borst unable to reel that one in. Sun definitely playing a role there. Lee's going to be on second.
Number 17, the designated hitter, Jacob Buehler.
So 2-base error that time. First one to Jacob Hugie will miss for ball one. Might recognize that name. Hugie was the starting pitcher on Sunday when the Chinooks faced the Miners. The 1-0. In there called strike one. One count to Hugie. This is his first at bat this summer. The 1-1. Breaking pitch in there called strike two. Mansell looking to work his way out of this part of the first without surrendering any more runs. The 1-2. That'll miss upstairs. 2-2 count now to Hugie. Here's the 2-2. That one's going to be popped up. That's going to get out of play. Two-two count to Jacob Hugie, number 8 here in this minor lineup. The 2-2. That one once again going to be popped out of play, foul, right around the same location. Here comes the 2-2. We see Lee on the move, but that one's going to trickle foul. Hugie working Mansell hard in this at-bat. That's the second one he's fouled off already. The 2-2. And once again, that's going to be popped out of play. Still a 2-2 count to Jacob Hugie. Now the 2-2. Lee on the move. That one's going to be lined into center field. That'll drop in for another base hit. So that will bring in A.J. Lee. Miners take the 5-0 lead.
Number 12 is center fielder Madison Nickens.
Madison Nickens now up to the plate. First one to him will miss outside and low. The 1-0. Outside and low once again. That'll get away from Liniger. So Hugie advances the second. And it's a 2-0 count to Nickens. The 2-0. That'll miss outside as well. It's 3-0 count to Nickens. The 3-0. He's 3-0 swinging. Don't see that too often. That'll be strike one. Three-one count to the Miners center fielder. 3-1. That one's going to be hit on the ground towards short. Shackelford will field it. That's going to be an infield single for Nickens.
Number 1, the second baseman, Levi Jordan.
So back to the top of the order we go. Already in this one. And they'll check on Nickens over at first. That one's a shot out to left. That will be reeled in this time by Mason Mallard. So that will finally do it for the top of the first. Miners, 5 runs on the board. Chinooks get their first turn up at the plate here in a few moments.
The second baseman, Will Bass.
Welcome back out to Lee Jordan Field. Not the top of the first inning that the Chinooks would have wanted. They allowed 5 runs to come across. Now Will Bass will be stepping in to the batter's box. Warrior Chinooks will take ball 1. The 1-0. Fouls on right back. There goes the camera. So 1-1 count to Will Bass. Next one will miss down in the turf. 2-1. He's 2-1 swing, and that'll make it 2-2. Comes the 2-2. All right, back there goes the camera again. Here comes the 2-2. That's that one nicely out towards left field. Garrison Schwartz gonna have enough room to reel that one in for out number 1.
At the plate, number 5, the left fielder, Mason Mallard.
So Mason Mallard up to the plate for the first time today. He'll pop that one up. And that one will be reeled in by Levi Jordan for out number 2.
to the plate for your Chinooks number 22, the designated hitter, Hunter Van So.
First one to Van Saw. Miss outside, ball 1. Comes the 1-0. That one's hit nicely down towards second, but Levi Jordan gonna have enough time to field that, gets that over to Jake Scudder in time for out number 3. So Chinooks go down in order, and after 1 inning of play, the Miners have a 5-0 lead. Stay tuned here at Lee Jordan Field. Welcome back here to Lee Jordan Field. Here's Schwartz. First pitch swinging. He'll hit it right down towards first. We have a defensive replacement, Ethan Whisker, now over at first. So that'll be a ground out to first base. Ashby's in that up there now. We'll take strike 1. The 0-1. And they're called strike 2. Still do see some action in the Chinook bullpen as Bonsal's out there for a second inning of work. 0-2. That one will miss low. Comes the 1-2. Trickles that one back towards the Miner dugout. And now here comes the 1-2. That one back towards the Chinook dugout for another foul ball. And a nice defensive play by Zach Sanford out and right. That'll be out number 2. First one, Scudder will miss for ball 1. Comes the 1-0. In there called strike Comes the 1-1. That'll miss outside. 2-1 count now to Jake Scott, the first baseman. Two one. That one's popped out towards right field. And it'll be Zach Sanford once again to come in there and make the play for the final out of the inning. So as bad as the first inning is, that's as good as the second inning is, as the Miners go down 1-2-3. They maintain that 5-0 lead. Welcome back on out to lead Jordan Field here at the Loretta French Sports Complex. Getting started with the bottom of the second inning. Tim Millard up to the plate. First one, him in there, called strike one. Yo, one. In there as well, called strike two. Tim Millard down in the count 0-2 very quickly. Comes the 0-2. Fastball outside, 1-2. Comes the 1-2. That one's hit out towards left center field. And that one will be reeled in by Madison Nickens for out number one.
Batting for your Chinooks, number 8 for the shortstop, Aaron Shackelford.
One down, bottom of the second, Chinooks trail 5-0 to the Matsu Miners. Aaron Shackelford up to the plate. First one to him will miss outside and a little low. The 1-0. That'll miss down towards the turf. 2-0 the count to Shackelford. The 2-0. That'll miss a tad outside. 3-0. Shackelford hitting just 105 so far this summer. The 3-0 in there for a called strike one. Shackelford did have a triple a couple of days ago up in Anchorage against the Bucks. It was right down the first base line. The 3-1. Just a foul tip there. That'll make it a full count, 3-2. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Shackelford goes down on strikes. Nothing going on the Chinooks way so far. Now a 2 down here. Bottom of the second. Chinooks trail 5-0. Ethan Whisker going to step into the box. Originally it was Colin Borst, but we already had him replaced by his Hillsdale teammate Ethan Whisker. First one to Whisker. He'll fly that one out towards left field. But Bees in net makes a basket catch. And that really shows you just how the Chinooks game is going up to this point. After 2 innings of play, Miners up on the Chinooks 5-0. Welcome back out to Lee Jordan Field. You start with the top of the third. First one will be in there to Cam Montgomery. Next one also in there. Spencer regaining a little bit of composure as he starts his third inning of work. He's up on Cam Montgomery 0-2. 0-2. Won't chase outside that time. 1-2. The 1-2. That one's hit down towards third. Millard will field it. But Whisker off the bag, unable to put the tag down either.
Number 25, the catcher, Josh Roulette.
So Montgomery's on with a single. Montgomery also on the move. Got him. Montgomery will be caught stealing. So that'll be out number one. Next one to Roulette will miss for ball 2. Last time Roulette was up, he had that 2-run home run. The 2-0. That'll miss inside, makes it 3-0. 3-0's going to miss outside ball 4. I probably wouldn't want to pitch to Roulette either after the way he crushed that ball last time up. So Roulette will be on with the walk. Brings up A.J. Lee. First one to Lee. That'll miss low, ball 1. Lee reached on an error his last time up. The 1-0. That will miss low as well, 2-0. Comes the 2-0. inside and low that time, 3-0. Seventh straight ball thrown by Bonsell. Once again, more action in the Chinook bullpen. The 3-0. In there, called strike one. Makes it 3-1 to A.J. Lee, the third baseman for the Miners. The 3-1. Just gets a tiny little chunk of that one. Three ball, two strike count to A.J. Lee. One down here, top of the third. Miners up 5-0. Comes the 3-2. That one's lined out towards left field. That'll get just out of play near the Chinook bullpen. So that'll make it 3 balls, 2 strikes. Comes the payoff. Trickler down the first base line. That'll just foul. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes to A.J. Lee. The freshman from the University of Maryland. The 3-2. That's hit down towards third. Millard goes over to second for one. Back over to first in time for the double play, 6-4-3 style. And that'll do it here in the top of the third. But the Miners still have the 5-0 lead. Welcome back out to the Loretta French Sports Complex here in Chugiak, Alaska. About to get started with the bottom of the third inning. Has not gone the Chinooks' way up to this point. They are down in this game by a score of 5-0. Zach Sanford will get things started for your Chinooks. First one to him. Low for ball one. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss from Sanford, evens it back up. Sanford still looking for his first hit this summer. This will be his 9th at-bat. Does have an RBI, though. The 1-1. Catches that outside corner, called strike 2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Sanford goes down on strikes. Second strikeout for Tyler Wyatt. Spencer Liniger now up to the plate. First one to Liniger. Outside corner, strike one. Spencer hitting .222 so far this summer. Comes the 0-1. We'll leave that one alone low. 1-1. Comes the 1-1. That will miss low as well. 2-1. Now to Liniger. Liniger 6-3 switch hitter catcher. Can play some infield if need be. The 2-1. Swing and miss. Two balls, two strikes to Liniger. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Liniger will go down on strikes as well. Two down, bottom of the third. Greg Poppy listen. Now will make his way up to the plate. Greg got that bat late in yesterday's game. Wasn't able to do much with that one. First pitch then will be a called strike one. And Greg told me later he thought that he was going to be called on to pinch run at that point in the game, not pinch hit. So when he was told to go to the box, he was thrown off a little bit, to say the least. The 0-1. He'll line that one out towards right field. But Montgomery will have enough room to reel that one in for the final out here in the bottom of the third. And after three, still nothing going the Chinook way. They trail 5-0. Welcome back on out here to Lee Jordan Field. About to start the top of the fourth inning. Chinook still trailed by a score of 5-0. Nathan Bonsell has rebounded fairly well as he gets started for his fourth inning of work. First one to Jacob Hugie will miss, though, ball one. One 0 pitch launched out towards left field. That one's going to be played off the wall. Yugi's going to stop at second, so he'll have a stand-up double to start off the fourth inning. Madison Nickens now coming up to the plate for the Miners. They have a 5-0 lead over your Chinooks here in the top of the fourth. First one to Nickens. He'll pop that one up on the left side. It'll be Mason Mallard. I'll get to that for out number 1. Levi Jordan now back up to the plate with 1 down, top of the 4th. Miners have a runner on second in Jacob Hugie after his stand-up double. First one to him. In there, called strike 1. Jordan over 2 today with a pair of flyouts. He's really the only player so far for the Miners that has not left an imprint on this game already. Comes the 0-1. We'll take that curveball over to short. Shackelford will fumble with it for a second, but he will not make a play towards either base. So just rule that one a base hit, as that was a tough play for Shackelford to get to at all. Here's Schwartz up to the plate with 2 on, 1 down. Runners at the corners. Top of the 4th. First one to Schwartz. Another one outside. They'll check on Jordan over at first. They'll be back in plenty of time. Schwartz, the sophomore from Grand Canyon, came into today hitting .208. The 1-0. Hit on a rocket down towards first. That'll get foul. So 1-1 they count to Garrison Schwartz, left fielder for the Miners. And so with a quick pickoff try over at first, Jordan back in time. It was a close play, though. Lefties always seem to have a pretty good pickoff move, and Monsell showed that time. Now they're going to call it a balk retroactively. That'll bring in a run. So that ball gives the Miners the 6-0 lead. The 1-1. That one's popped up. Vinegar won't have room to reel that one in, though. And he will get Schwartz to go down looking, though. A little bit of a saving grace right there for the out.
Number 6, the shortstop, Josh Bissonnette.
So Bissonnette will come up to the plate with 2 down, top of the 4th. Miners up 6-0. First one to Bissonnette will miss low. Bissonnette 1 for 2 today. Had a double in the first, came around to score a run. Also flew out towards right field. The 1-0. That one will miss low. So 2-0 count to Bizanet. The shortstop from Baylor. 2-0 is going to be hit down towards third. That'll get foul. Two and one to Bizanet. Hammonds today hitting 167. The 2-1. That one's hit on a rocket down towards left, but that'll go just foul. And that's luckily for the Miners, because luckily for the Chinooks, actually, because otherwise Jordan would have easily scored from second, as he was getting the wave from the headman Ben Taylor before that ball even hit the ground. Two count to Bizanet. Bonsell will check on Jordan over at second. He'll be back in plenty of time. The 2-2. Just gets a piece of that to foul it off. As you can see, once again, there goes the camera. The 2-2. That one's going to be popped out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored by Edward Jones Financial Investment, Gavin Reed.
Count remains 2-2 to Josh Bizanet. Levi Jordan on second for the Miners. They have a 6-0 lead. The 2-2. Curveball taken very deep, but that'll go out of play. Bizanet not missing by too much. Count nonetheless remains 2-2. The 2-2. That'll miss inside. I'll make it a full count. 3-2 to Bizanet. This will be the 9th pitch on the at-bat. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. And on the 9th pitch, Bonsale able to set down Bizanet. Second strikeout of the game for Bonsell. That's not before the Miners tack on another run called on a balk. The Miners have a 6-0 lead. Welcome back on out here to Lee Jordan Field. I'll start the bottom of the 4th inning between the Miners and the Chinooks. We'll be back at the top of the order for the Chinooks. Will Bass gets things started. Bass flew out to left his first time up. First one to Bass. Shows bunt with that one not even close for ball one. It was 1-0. Bass thought about that one, but that'll still be in there, called strike one. But 1-1. Hit right back up the middle, but Tyler White able to field it to get that over to Scudder at first in time for out number one.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 5, the left fielder, Mason Mallard.
Mason Mallard up to the plate with one down, bottom of the fourth. Chinooks trail 6-0. First one to Mallard. That one's a low, ball one. Mallard flew out to second base his first time up, the 1-0. Fouls on right back, and once again, there goes the camera. People have no regard for the camera. Crazy how that works. Comes the 1-1. Shows bunt, pulls that one back, ball two. Mallard came in today hitting .278 this summer, but he's going to pop that one out towards right field. Cam Montgomery able to reel that one in for out number two.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 22, the designated hitter, Hunter Manso.
Hunter Manso coming up to the plate with two down, bottom of the fourth. Looking to make something happen for the Chinooks on offense. The first pitch to Vansaw will miss for ball one. Here comes the 1-0. And they're called strike one. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. That's how quickly falling behind 1-2. Vansaw came into today's game hitting .333 this summer with a pair of triples and 3 RBIs. All of those RBIs coming off of those 2 triples. The 1-2. It's down and down towards the left side. That'll get out of play. It remains 1-2 to Hunter Vansaw. The 1-2. That'll miss down into the turf. Here comes the 2-2. That'll miss inside. 3-2 now to Vansaw. Vansaw played at Northeast Texas Community College with fellow Chinook Brady Batten this past year. We go into Mississippi State starting in the fall. The 3-2. It's down and down at the first base line. That'll trickle foul. Eighth pitch of that bat coming to Vansaw right here. The 3-2. And a miss outside. Ball 4. So it's not a base hit, but the Chinooks do get someone on base for the first time today. Millard coming up to the plate. Tim flew out in his first at-bat. That was back in the second inning. First one to Millard. Misses low, ball one. Millard, the redshirt sophomore from Dallas Baptist. The 1-0. Hits that one hard out towards right field. That's something Cam Montgomery can't handle, and he'll bring that one in for the final out here in the bottom of the fourth. So Chinooks get a base runner for the first time, but can't do anything with it. After 4 full innings, Chinooks trail 6-0. Welcome back on out to Lee Jordan Field here on the Loretta French Sports Complex. New pitcher on the hill for your Chinooks. It'll be Nick Brooks. This will be his second appearance this summer. Appeared against the Miners back on Sunday. First pitch to Scudder will miss outside, ball one. The 1-0 to Scudder. Misses outside, 2-0. Scudder, the minor first baseman, plays at Kansas State. The 2-0. That'll miss outside, 3-0. Here comes the 3-0. Well, that'll miss outside, ball four. So Scudder will draw the walk. That'll bring Cam Montgomery up to the plate. First one to Montgomery. In there, called strike one. Montgomery perfect 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a double. Has been caught stealing once, though. The 0-1. And they're called strike two. So Montgomery quickly falls behind 0-2. Montgomery, a freshman at South Florida. He lays off the 0-2 pitch on the outside. The 1-2. That one's hit out towards center field. Population going back. And he'll get to that one a little bit shy of that warning track for out number one. Josh Roulette comes up to the plate with 1 down, top of the 5th. Miners up 6-0 over the Chinooks. Brooks will check on Scudder over at first, back in time. First one Roulette in there called strike 1. Roulette 1 for 1 today with the 2-run home run in the first. Drew walk his last time up. The 0-1. Hit right back up the middle. Bass unable to field it. That'll be a base hit. Population fumbles with a little bit in the center field, but not enough. That allows either runner to advance. So Roulette continues his perfect day at the plate. That'll bring up third baseman A.J. Lee. So runners at first and second for the Miners. 1 down, top of the 5th. Miners have that 6-0 lead over your Chinooks. First one to A.J. Lee. This low, ball 1. Lee 0 for 2 on the day. Reached base on an error in the first, grounded into a double play his last time up. The 1-0. That'll catch that inside corner for a called strike 1. One. And that will get away from Liniger. Allows each runner to advance. So runners now at second and third with 1 down. 2-1. That one will miss again. 3-1 the count now to the third baseman from Maryland. The 3-1. That'll miss inside ball 4. So that will load up the bases for Jacob Hugie. Hugie 2 for 2 on the day in his first at-bats this entire summer. He's going to hit that one towards second. That's only his time to go to first for the out. That'll bring in another run. Miners now lead 7-0. First one to Nickens, and therefore called strike 1. The 0-1 will miss low. 1-1. The 1-1. That one's hit towards second, and Bass will field it. He'll underhand that to Whisker in time for the final out of the inning. So Chinooks will work their way out of that one, but that's not before the Miners add on another run and now lead 7-0 after the top half of the 5th. Welcome back on out to Lee Jordan Field here in Chugiak, Alaska. About to get started with the bottom of the fifth. Chinooks trail by a score of 7-0. First one to Shackelford, hosts swing and miss at. Shackelford went down swinging his first time up. He'll be swinging and missing at that one as well. He'll fall behind 0-2. Shackelford coming off a good freshman year at the Masters College, hit just under 300. Now the 0-2. That one's popped out of play.
That foul ball sponsored by Labor's Local 341.
So Shackelford still down on the count 0-2. That's Tyler Wyatt taking a little bit of time on the mound. Here comes the 0-2. Shackelford will hold up at that high and inside pitch. After Shackelford, it'll be Ethan Whisker and Zach Sanford coming to the plate for the Chinooks. Here comes the 1-2. That'll miss outside. Evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the shortstop Shackelford. The 2-2. That'll miss up and away. Ball 3. That's the third full count that Tyler Wyatt has gotten himself into. The 3-2. Anonymous low, ball 4. Second base runner for the Chinooks. Second time it comes courtesy of a walk.
Now batting for your Chinooks number 25, Ethan Whisker.
I'm bringing Ethan Whisker up to the plate. First one to him will miss low. And now Roulette wants to have a quick word with Wyatt. Colin Borst started the game over at first, played through the first inning, but then was replaced by his Hillsdale teammate Whisker. It was the first time Borst had been in the field defensively, not playing third. The 1-0. That'll miss upstairs. Comes the 2-0. Once it down the third base line, Lee will field it, and he'll go over to first for the out. Shackelford will advance to second.
Batting for the Chinooks number 11, the right fielder, Zach Sanford.
One down, bottom of the fifth. Chinooks trail 7-0 to the Miners. Zach Sanford comes up to the plate. Sanford still looking for that illustrious first hit of the summer. He's 0 for 9 up to this point, but does have an RBI. First one to him. In there called strike 1. Sanford plays at Glenville State College in Glenville, West Virginia. Has been both teammates and played under Tucker Abrazino, who's one of the assistants here, also coaches there as well, was a player there. We'll check in Shackelford at second. He'll be back in plenty of time. The 1 also in there for a called strike 2. Sanford quickly finds himself down in the count 0-2. The 0-2. That'll be outside. 1-2 count to Zach Sanford. Went down swinging his first time out. Comes the 1-2. Fouls that one right over my head, not a play.
And that foul ball sponsored by the Chinook Jack.
Sanford originally from Waldorf, Maryland. This past season at Glenville State hit 227, 14 doubles, 4 home runs, 33 RBIs. And now the 1-2. Leaves that one alone down in the turf. Evens it back up at 2-2. Two count to Sanford. Aaron Shackelford over on second. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. The Sanford struggles at the plate will continue. Over down strikes for the second time today.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 31, the catcher, Spencer Leininger.
Spencer Leininger coming up to the plate. Leininger also struck out his last time up. First one to Leininger. Outside and low for ball 1. Leininger was at the College of San Mateo this past year. He'll be going to Feather River Community College this coming fall. The 1-0. That will miss low as well. Two-0 count to Leininger. The 2-0. It's now down the first base line. That'll get foul. Two-one count to Leininger. 2 down. Bottom of the 5th. Chinooks trail by a score of 7-0 to the Mats Miners. The 2-1. It's now down towards third. Lee looking for the tag, isn't going to be able to get it. Still has just enough time to go down to first and throw out Leininger for out number 3. So for the second straight inning, the Chinooks get a guy to walk aboard or unable to do anything else with it. So after 5, they still trail by a score of 7-0 to the Matsu Miners. Welcome back out to Lee Jordan Field here in Chugiak, Alaska. About to start the top of the 6th inning between the Chinooks and the Miners. We thank you if you're sticking around up to this point because the Miners have been just dominating your Chinooks. They lead by a score of 7-0. We'll be back to the top of the lineup for the Miners. Levi Jordan will get things started. Then it'll be Garrison Schwartz and Josh Bizanet. First one to Jordan. In there called strike one. Jordan 1 for 3 on the day. Pair of flyouts and a single. The 0-1. That one's hit out towards left field. That one easily corralled by Mason Mallard. For the first out here in the top of the 6th. Garrison Schwartz coming up to the plate for the Miners. He's also 1 for 3 on the day. First one to him. And they're called strike one. Nick Brooks is still out on the hill for your Chinooks. This will be his second inning of relief. Now it's fouled right back. There goes the camera. I know, you're surprised. They'll take that 0-2 pitch, makes it 1-2. Comes the 1-2. That'll miss outside. 2-2 count to Schwartz. Schwartz plays his college ball at Grand Canyon. The 2-2 is going to be popped over towards the left side of the infield. So Millard able to reel that one in for out number 2.
Number 6, the shortstop, Josh Bizanet.
Josh Bizanet comes up to the plate with 2 down. Top of the 6th. Chinooks trail 7-0 to the Miners. First one to Bizanet misses outside for ball 1. Bizanet 1 for 3 on the day. Had a double back in the first. The 1-0. That one's hit out towards left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Bizanet will stay over first, so he'll be on with a 2-out single here in the top of the 6th.
Number 22, the first baseman, Jake Scudder.
Jake Scudder now up to the plate with 2 down here in the top of the 6th. First one to him. Hits on a rocket out towards right field. That'll be another base hit. Bizanet will advance to second, so they'll have runners at first and second with 2 down.
Number 16, the right fielder, Cam Montgomery.
Cam Montgomery now up to the plate for the Miners. 2 on, 2 down. Top of the 6th. Chinooks trail 7-0. First one to Montgomery. That one's lined out towards right center. And Zach Sanford will get over to that one in time for the final out here in the top of the 6th. So the Miners will put 2 on, aren't unable to do anything with them. They still have that 7-0 lead over your Chinooks. Welcome back out to Lee Jordan Field here in Chugiak, Alaska. Been a rough go of it, to say the least, for your Chinooks up to this point. They trail 7-0 to the Matsu Miners. Greg Populison will lead things off. First one to him, he'll pop that one right up on the right side of the infield. And that will be caught by Levi Jordan for out number 1.
At the plate for the Chinooks, number 6, the second baseman, Will Bass.
Back to the top of the order we go. Will Bass comes up with a one down here on the bottom of the 6th. First one to Bass. Just gets a piece of that one. Unhappy with himself on that swing. But he's got a nice little smile now. Here comes the 0-1. That one set on a rocket. That will be your first Chinook base hit. Will not come until the bottom of the 6th. The no-no officially done for Tyler Wyatt.
Batting for the Chinooks, number 5, the left fielder, Mason Mallard.
So that'll be the first hit for the Chinooks. And who else gets it but the veteran of the Chinooks, Will Bass. Mason Mallard now makes his way to the plate. First one to him. Tries to lay down the bunt. That'll go back foul. Mason Mallard, originally from White House, Texas. 0-1. And they're called strike 2. Mason will quickly fall behind 0-2. Mallard came in today hitting .278 this summer. The 0-2 will miss way up high, ball 1. One and 2 to Mason Mallard. We'll be going to Louisiana Tech this fall. The 1-2. That one's hit out towards center field. That'll drop in for another Chinook base hit. The old phrase is hitting is contagious. After going just about a little more than 5 innings without a hit, they get 2 in a row. Hunter Vansaw now will come up to the plate, the designated hitter for today. Now this will call out a meeting on the mound. There's no one warming up in the Miners bullpen yet. So this will not be it for Wyatt just yet. So one down, bottom of the 6th. Runners at first and second on 2 consecutive singles for the Chinooks. Hunter Vansaw now up to the plate. He's in the left-handed batter's box. And Wyatt will now take a second to step off. And once again, Wyatt will step off. Vansaw started his collegiate career at Dallas Baptist University. Was redshirted that first year, and then was told he might want to look into the junior college route at the start of his sophomore year. Ended up at Northeast Texas Community College with the fellow Chinook Brady Batten. Hit 378 there in 50 games. First one to Vansaw. Swinging and missing that first one. And then Vansaw announced in April that he would be going to Mississippi State starting in the fall. The 0-1. That one will miss inside. One they'll actually look back at Bass over at second. Pretty close play, but not close enough. I'm sure Will appreciated the effort. Here comes the 1-1. That one's lined out towards center field. That'll drop in, be another base hit. But they will hold up all the runners. So after being no hit through 5 1/3, the Chinooks bats have woken up in a big way as they now have 3 straight singles in a row to load the bases for a very recent addition to the Chinooks team, Tim Millard. Millard had plans to be with the Chinooks all summer long. Just had to wait for his season at Dallas Baptist end. First one to Millard. That'll miss for ball 1. Millard 2 flyouts so far today. Comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Just actually got a foul tip on that one. It was reeled in by Roulette. Regardless, it'll go in the books as strike 1. Tim's brother Ryan, also a pitcher at Dallas Baptist, also played here for a summer. The 1-1. That'll miss outside. Roulette had a chance to throw back at Vansaw at first, but fumbled the ball in the transfer. Tim's other brother, Paul, quarterback on the West Virginia football team for a couple years. Comes the 2-1. That'll miss low, makes it 3-1. So after starting out this game about as hot as you can, Tyler Wyatt in danger of walking in a run. The 3-1. Hit someone on the ground towards third. They'll go to second for 1 and back over to first in time. 6-4-3 double play. Not what the doctor ordered, to say the least. And after loading up the bases on 3 straight singles, just goes to show you the day the Chinooks are having. They still trail after 6. They still trail 7-0 to the Miners. So Josh Roulette will miss for ball one as we welcome you back here to Lee Jordan Field. Nick Brooks still out of the mound for your Chinooks. The 1-0 is lined out towards center field. And Greg Populus on the run makes an impressive catch to reel that one in for out number one. One down top of the seventh. 7-0 your score. Chinooks trail the Matsu Miners. AJ Lee up to the plate. I'll take that breaking pitch in there for a called strike one. They'll take that next one outside. 1-1. Lee, one of the few guys struggling today. Next one will miss low. 2-1. Lee reached on an error in the first, grounded into a double play in the third. Did draw a walk in the fifth, though. The 2-1. Trickles that one back. There goes the camera once again. Two is going to be lined out of play.
NFL ball sponsored by Friends of Dan Sadler.
Here comes the 2-2. That one's hit on the ground towards second. And Bass will get that over to Whisker at first in time for out number two. I don't even know why it fell that time. First one to Huey will miss low for ball one as I'm adjusting the camera once again. 1-0 is going to be lined out of play.
NFL ball sponsored by Edward Jones Financial Investments and Kevin Reed.
Jim Huey up to the plate for the Miners. 1-1 is going to be lined out of play.
Ball sponsored by the Chinook Jack.
Huey 2 for 3 on the day. And he'll pop that one out towards left field. And Mason Mallard able to get under that one for the final out of the seventh. And the Miners will be set down in order that time. 1, 2, 3, but they still out on top by a score of 7-0 over your Chinooks. Welcome back out to Lee Jordan Field here at the Loretta French Sports Complex. Aaron Shackelford will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. First one to him will miss low for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. The 1-1. That'll miss up and away. Shackelford calls his hometown San Diego, California, the 2-1. Fouls right back, and there goes the camera. I know. We're so surprised at this point. The 2-2. That one's hit on a rope out towards center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Shackelford around first, head for second. He's around second. He's heading for third. And Shackelford will slide in there for a triple. That'll be Shackelford's second triple. That'll lead off this bottom of the 7th. Hopefully that'll ignite this Chinook offense. Ethan Whisker up to the plate with nobody down, 1 on here in the bottom of the 7th. Breaking pitch will be taken for ball 1. That's on by Whisker. Whisker 0 for 2 with a flyout and a ground out. The camera falls for no reason that time. That'll miss for 2-0. Lined out towards right field. Well, that'll be caught by Montgomery, but they will send home Shackelford. And that will end the shutout. Sac fly from Whisker brings home Shackelford. Makes it a 7-1 ball game. First one to Zach Stanford in there for a called strike 1. The 0-1. Another breaking pitch in there. Called strike 2. Stanford down to the count 0-2. The 0-2. That one will stay outside 1-2. One down here in the bottom of the 7th. Chinooks trail by a score of 7-1 to the Matsu Miners. The 1-2. That one stays outside as well. Evens it back up 2 balls, 2 strikes. There comes the 2-2. That one's hit down the third base line, just a tad foul. Here comes the 2-2. That will be popped out of play. Here comes the 2-2. Got him looking, strike 3. I'll call that one on the inside part of the plate.
Spencer Leninger.
2 down, bottom of the 7th. Spencer Lineker coming up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out. First one to Lineker. Swinging and missing. Comes the 0-1. That one's poked out towards right field. Montgomery able to get to that one for the final out of the inning. So Chinooks finally able to put a run up on the board.
Tonight's game is brought to you
They still trail by a score of 7-1.
Double discount.
Welcome back out to Lee Jordan Field here on the Loretta French Sports Complex. About to start the top of the 8th inning where the Chinooks showed a little bit of life. Last inning, they put their first run up on the board. They still trail by a score of 7-1. To the Matsu Miners, though. I'm Lance Morris here, bringing you the play-by-play on our Google YouTube Hangout stream. And in case you were unaware, you can watch every game in its entirety about 15 minutes after the conclusion of the broadcast. That'll be grounded towards Bassett second. So get that one over to first in time. Round number 1. One down here on the top of the 8th.
Number 1, the second baseman Levi Jordan.
Brings Levi Jordan back up to the plate. He's 1 for 4 on the day. First one he'll miss outside, ball 1. The 1-0. That one's hit nicely out towards left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Second hit today for Levi Jordan will come with one down here on the top of the 8th. So looks like there's a pinch hitter coming out to the plate.
New minor in the lineup, number 29.
First pitch to the new hitter will miss low for ball 1. That one will miss as well, 2-0. Austin Treadwell, the new hitter for The Miners. The 2-0. That shook it on the ground towards third. Millard will have to just go over to first with it. And Whisker able to tag him out for the second out of the inning.
New batter in the lineup, number 7.
Another new hitter coming up to the plate for the Miners. This time it'll be Jonah Garrison. That'll be lined out towards right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. They're going to send home Jordan. Jordan going to be in there easily. So an RBI for Garrison will make it 8-1 in favor of the Miners.
Number 22, the first baseman, Jake Scudder.
Big Scudder up to the plate. Just want him in there for a called strike one. That one in the turf. Nice stop by Liniger. Here comes the 1-1. That'll be a strike. Catches the inside corner. Scudder down to the count 1-2 with 2 down, top of the 8th. 1-2. Now it's going to be popped out of play.
Sponsored by the Chinook Jack.
The 1-2. That'll be popped out of play as well.
Sponsored by Clemson Dan Sattler.
One-two count to Jake Scudder. Stuck's trailing 8-1 right now. The 1-2. Almost low and inside. The 2-2. One side on the ground towards first. Ethan Whisker will field that, take it over to first himself for the out. That is not before the Miners add on another run. They now lead by a score of 8-1 after the top of the 8th. Welcome back on out to Lee Jordan Field. Chinooks trail the Matthew Myers by a score of 8-1. Be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up this half of the inning. Greg Populison will lead things off. First one to him. Up and outside, ball one. Population 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. The 1-0. That'll miss upstairs, ball two. Finally, a new pitcher in the game for the Miners would be Gage Berland. The 2-0. In there, called strike one. Population plays his college ball at New Mexico State University. Here comes the 2-1. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and there for a called strike two. Population, born in Palo Alto, California, quickly moved out to Highland Ranch, Colorado. The 2-2. Autonomous outside. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Population. Coming into today, he was hitting 182. Started off the summer hot with a 2-for-3 outing against the Anchorage Bucks. The 3-2. He'll hit that one down towards first. Flips it over to Berlin just in time for out number one.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 6, the second baseman, Will Bass.
One down, bottom of the 8th. Chinooks trail 8-1. Will Bass comes up to the plate. First one to Bass. In there, called strike one. The 0-1. Well, that'll miss. Outside 1-1 now. Bass got the hit parade started with a single back in the 6th that initially broke up the no-no. The 1-1. That'll catch that outside corner, called strike two. Bass falls behind 1-2. And Bass calls time at the plate. Bass plays his college ball at Wayland Baptist University in Plainview, Texas. The 1-2. He'll hit that one out towards left field. And that'll drop innocently foul. This is Will's 3rd season with Athletes in Action Baseball. 2nd straight year with the Chinooks. The 1-2. Fouls that one out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored by Edward Jones Financial Investments and Gavin Reed.
Here comes the 1-2. Got him looking, strike three. So that'll be a backwards K on Bass. First strikeout for Berland. So now 2 down for Mason Mallard here in the bottom of the 8th. First one to Mallard. Hits that one on the ground towards shore. That'll be fielded by Lee, but they will not have a play. So infield single there for Mallard.
Batting clear Chinooks. Number 22, the designated hitter, Hunter Benso.
Two down, bottom of the eighth. Hunter Vansaw now comes up to the plate. Two down, one on, and Mason Mallard at first. First one to Vansaw. That'll stay upstairs for ball one. Vansaw had himself a base hit back in the sixth. Also reached base once with a walk. The 1-0. That'll miss upstairs.
Energy Center, a place for the community to meet. For more information, go to alaska.bp.com.
You gave it an error. Just because it went off his glove. Yeah.
New pitcher for the Chinooks, number 14, Nate Legos. Play for the Miners, number 16, the right fielder, Cam Montgomery.
Cameron Montgomery up to the plate for the Miners here in the top of the ninth. That first one to him will hit him. New pitcher on the hill for your Chinooks, Nate Legos, in case you couldn't tell by the low arm angle. And Nate mentioned that he said the next time he pitches, he wanted me to give a special shout out to his mom. Just wanted to he wanted to make sure I did that, so here it is. Next one to roulette. We'll miss outside, ball one. That will miss outside as well, 2-0. The 2-0. And they're called strike one. The 2-1. And they're called strike two. Two. The count to Josh Roulette. The 2-2. Fouls that one back off the mask of Lineker. That got all the way out of play. There he goes, playing at North Greenville University. There goes himself originally from Massachusetts. The 2-2. That'll miss it down low on the turf. So that'll make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the catcher Roulette. The 3-2. That one's lined out towards left field. But that will be able to be caught by Mason Mallard for out number 1.
Number 5, the third baseman, A.J. Lee.
A.J. Lee now up to the plate. Started off today's game at third base, has moved to shortstop. First one to Lee. This is low, ball 1. Lee on the day, he's just 0 for 3. Reached on an error, grounded into a double play. One will miss inside. Legos at North Greenville this past season appeared in 5 games. Didn't give up an earned run all season long. I'm going to quickly step off to look back Montgomery. The 2-0. That one's poked out towards right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Neither Bass nor Stanford able to get to that one in time. So that puts runners at first and second with one down. Top of the ninth. Chinooks trail 8-2 to the Matsu Miners. Comes first one to Hughie. In there, called strike one. Hughie 2 for 4 on the day with a ground out as well as a fly out, but a single and a double as well. The 0-1. On a miss outside. Yugi also a starting pitcher for the Miners. The 1-1. Well, that'll hit Hughie in the back. So that will load him up for Madison Nickens. Actually, they'll have a pinch hitter coming up. First one to him in there, called strike one. Number 24, Brooks Stoller. We'll chop that one foul. Here comes the 0-2. Once it on the ground towards second, Bass will field it, flips it over to Shackelford for one, and back over to Whisker for the double play for 6-3 style, and that'll end the top of the ninth. We will go to the bottom of the ninth, last call for the Chinooks. A trail by a score of 8-2. Welcome back out here to Lee Jordan Field here on the Loretta French Sports Complex. Here's Chinooks trail by a score of 8-2 as we head into the bottom of the ninth. We thank you for making us a part of your day wherever you are and whenever you may be listening to this, whether you're watching it live or watching it in its entirety on YouTube later on. Ethan Whisker will lead things off for the Chinooks. We'll take strike one. Whisker did not start this game, but quickly came in to replace Colin Borst defensively. The 0-1. Just gets a piece of that one. He'll fall behind 0-2. Visker started off this summer pretty strong, 267 average. Comes the 0-2. Anonymous Loman outside. One to the count to Whisker. Plays his college ball at Hillsdale. The 1-2. Fouls that one out of play. Whisker this past season at Hillsdale hit 376. Had 16 doubles, 1 triple, 6 home runs to go with 50 RBI. Surprisingly, that was still second on the team. The 1-2. Thought about it. They're going to say he did go around. So that'll be strike number 3, the first out of the bottom of the 9th. One down, bottom of the 9th. Zach Sanford coming up to the plate. Sanford has had a day at the plate he'd like to forget so far. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. First one to Sanford. He'll be swinging and missing to strike 1. Sanford still looking for his first hit this summer. He's 0 for his first 11 at-bats. Next one will miss low, ball 1. Sanford plays at Glenville State College in Glenville, West Virginia. The 1-1. It's that one back up the middle. That'll be fielded by Jordan at second. He will be thrown out at first. So Sanford putting the ball into play, but unable to get that hit. So now 2 down. That'll bring Spencer Leniger up to the plate as he tries to extend this game for the Chinooks. First one to Leniger. Swinging and missing for strike 1. Comes the 0-1. That'll miss low. The 1-1 is going to be lined out of play. One and 2 the count to Leniger. Here comes the 1-2. That one's lined out of play. One and 2 the count to Spencer Leniger, the Chinook catcher, trying to extend this contest for your Chinooks. The 1-2. Leaves that alone, up and away. Leniger came into today hitting .222. Only switch hitter on the team. The 2-2. Anonymous low and inside. Makes it a full count, 3-2 to Leniger. Here comes the 3-2. Anonymous up and away, ball 4. So Leniger draws the walk with 2 down. Here in the bottom of the 9th, we trail by a score of 8-2. Greg Populus now coming up to the plate. Greg also having a day at the plate he'd like to forget. He's 0 for 3 with a couple flyouts and a ground out. First one to him. They'll be swinging and missing at strike one. Greg plays at New Mexico State University in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Comes the 0-1. Hit someone on the ground. Fair ball down the first base line. Populus around first, head for second. Lineker going to advance to third, so a double for Greg Populus. Now, your Chinooks have 2 on, 2 down, and we'll be going back to the top of the order for Will Bass.
At the plate for your Chinooks, number 6 is second baseman Will Bass.
And now Roulette going to have a quick word with Berland on the hill. Thank you for making us a part of your day here. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th, but Chinooks not going away just yet. They have 2 on. As we get back to the top of the order for Will Bass. Well, 1 for 4 on the day as the home plate umpire calls time. First pitch to Bass. That'll miss low. Bass came into today hitting .238 this summer. Has 1 triple and 1 RBI as well as a double. The 1-0. It's that one on the ground down the left side. That'll be mishandled for a moment, and that's a long enough moment. That'll bring in another run. Hill will be safe over. Will be safe at first. Populus will be safe at third.
At the plate for your Chinooks, number 5, the left fielder, Mason Mallard.
First one to Mallard will be in there, called strike 1. Yo, 1 to Mallard. Want to miss outside. That'll be fouled out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored by the Chinook Shack.
That'll be chopped down towards short. Lee will field it. And that'll be all she wrote as Mallard will ground out to end this one. Chinooks struggle for a large part of this game, but the bats come alive late. They still will fall in this one by a score of 8-3 to the Matsu Miners.
For the Chinook Booster Club. Have a good night.
So with that, I will step aside for a moment as I finish up with the stats, and I'll be back with your player of the game interview here in just a little bit. Wants to flip the camera. Okay, so we adjust it a little bit. And we thank those of you for sticking around for our post-game interview. We have the designated hitter for today, Hunter Vansaw. Hunter went 2 for, I want to say, 2 for 3 with a walk. So, Hunter, the game started out kind of rough, as you already know. What was happening in that first 5 1/3 where the guy had the no-no?
I mean, he was pitched pretty good. I guess he had a pretty good changeup. Really competed up there, and then their offense did pretty well at the beginning of this game. But we did a really good job of breaking it up towards the middle of the game and finding a way to get runners on and kind of put more pressure on the pitcher to get him out of that no-no.
So you were the first guy to just get on base to kind of break up the perfect game with the walk. Did you see anything special in that at bat?
Not much. I mean, I just got to 2 strikes, kind of, and I was just trying to battle and just do whatever I could to get on base. Nothing too special. Just fouled off a few pitches and then got that 4th ball.
So then, as soon as the 6th inning, after Greg flies out, Will gets the kind of hit parade started with the first hit, and then Mason, and then you come in and get the hits as well. So is it just the fact that hitting kind of gets contagious once you see the first guy do it, or was the pitches that much different than at the start of the game?
I mean, yeah, hitting can get kind of contagious. You see the guys ahead of you having success, and that kind of gets you pumped up. But I think me and Mason both saw his fastball really well, so we're both pretty good fastball hitters, so that's what we did.
And that's been kind of the key to the success when the team has been doing well, has been Will, Mason, you, and then whoever's really hitting 4th, whether it's Ethan or Tim, to come in and hit well. So then you got another hit in the 8th once Berlin was pitching. How different was his stuff than the starter Wyatt?
He definitely threw a lot harder, but I didn't see many off speed from him, so I just sat fastball and I got one up the middle. So
sometimes sitting on the fastball works. Hunter, thanks for stepping in today.
thanks, buddy.
And that's all we have for the Chinooks Radio Network. We'll be back tomorrow against the Peninsula Oilers right here once again.